Good evening, everyone. So, finally, after 2 weeks of being with you all here in this club, I can finally formally introduce myself to everyone here in my first speech, which is the icebreaker speech. Though I am not going to lie to you all, I did not actually prepare a speech for a speech. I did not exactly prepare a speech for my prepared speech, all because I think when it comes to icebreaker, it has to be done in the moment. All right. So, however, I did do some planning. I plan on telling you guys before, before I tell you guys exactly where I am right now in my life and what I plan to do in the future. I plan to tell you all about my past and how I came to be the person I am right now. So, anyway, I'm gonna give you all some fun fact first. First of all, I'm Saudi. Okay, I'm gonna begin with that. I'm gonna begin with that just for you guys to just to avoid the confusion that sometime in the near future one of you might come to me and start a conversation and talk to me in Arabic, and after that I won't be able to reply. But don't take this as me being disrespectful, but it's me not being able to understand the language itself. Okay. Okay, why you might ask? Well, it's all because I was born in the Philippines. All right, I was born there I was born there, and I basically grew up there in the very beginning of my life. And yeah, I mean, like to tell you honestly, uh, back then in the Philippines, I was very, very, very lively as as a child. You know, I would go out without even asking. Like, I was so like my mom, my dad would get annoyed themselves because I would go out and not even ask them for permission. You know, I would do things, start shouting, talking to random people, just for the sake of starting a conversation or having fun. But ever since I came here to Saudi, things change because different rules, different culture, different tradition. It was like if I'm correct, before that I stayed in the Philippines for 11 years before actually coming here to Saudi Arabia. And when I got here, I pretty much don't speak the language. I do not share the same culture or tradition, so it was pretty tough as a child. Like I couldn't like what I did in the Philippines, I couldn't go out talk to people because I don't speak the language. Like even if I try to, they won't be able to reply to me because some of them don't even speak English. So yeah, it was a very very tough beginning for me here in Saudi. But I just cope up with it with video games. One of my hobbies. I started with it, especially back then. I'm sure most of you know portable PlayStation. I started with that, so everywhere I go, I bring this with me because as I said, I try to avoid having a conversation with anyone who speaks Arabic because it's just how it is to me back then. It wasn't until grade 11, when I went to high school, where I met this guy. I met this guy. I don't know if you all know him, but this is him right here. Okay, this is a picture of us, and you see the skeleton on top of his head. That's actually me. I was pretty much dead inside. It was not until grade 11 where I actually got my confidence back, like slowly getting my confidence back because this guy was very lively. He pretty much like start a conversation with anyone. Like to me, when I just first came to this, when I just first attended the high school, this guy, he just randomly came up to me, said, "Assalamu alaikum, hello, how are you? What's your name?" And it just started to go on like that. And then eventually, I gave my confidence back on like being from introvert to an extrovert. Um, back in high school, people usually would leave class after recess. Like they don't even try to end the school itself. Like they would just stay there until recess. Where me and this guy couldn't leave because we don't have like unfortunately we don't have cars ourselves. So we would just stay there, talk with each other, anything. We go from politics to sports, and then eventually we'll come to us talking about on how to leave this school before actually the principal seeing us or the teacher seeing us. So anyway, now that I'm in university, yeah, things. things are a bit different. Like I mean, it's still almost the same. Like sometimes now, okay, now that I'm talking about what I'm doing right now in my life, um, now I'm doing my internship. This is an example. Okay, I'm doing my internship, and before I go to my company, all right, there's this toll where they check the person who's going in, and they checked my ID. So I gave them my ID, and they started talking to me in Arabic. It's like, where's your tasri, which is in Arabic, which is in English, it means what's it called? What's it called? Entry pass. Okay, and I didn't know what it means back then. So this guy thought like I was fooling him. Like this ID was stolen. You know, he's Saudi, but he doesn't speak Arabic. No way. It's not until I showed him my student ID, my driver's license, until he's like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you or anything. So yeah, this is why I told you guys I started with this first, because I don't want you to feel bad about talking to me in Arabic, because I forgive you, because it can cause confusion. It can cause confusion that I'm Saudi and I don't speak the language itself. So yeah, moving on. Now that I'm in my senior year. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Okay, for those who don't know me, my name is Ameer, right? I am a civil engineering student, and I'm in my senior year right now. And to move on, to finish my speech, I'm just gonna go with the flow. You know, this like so far in my life, I've just been going with the flow, and so far, you know, like everything will come to pieces together, you know, one by one, step by step. Have patience, and it will be there. As to me, in getting my confidence back and trying to speak the Arabic language. So yeah, thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.